Sure.
I guess. Okay. You can hear us too?
Yeah, I can hear you guys.
Amazing. This last game was certainly not what you were hoping for, but overall, how do you feel about the 5 rounds that you have played today?
I mean, it's kind of a mixed bag. I think probably most of the players in the event, at least today, they probably had many opportunities that they messed up, or games that they should have won and lost and so forth, and all kinds of crazy stuff. I mean, basically, the results is completely fine. The way that I got to the results, of course, I'm not very happy about it. For example, I definitely should have lost to Lenier, but I never should have lost this game. So, it's kind of a mixed bag, is what I would say. Like, again, I never should have lost this last game, but I also never should have drawn the first game. So the score itself is relatively okay. But yeah, certainly not what I was hoping for after winning that game against Anish.
Yeah, speaking of that game, we wanted to, I guess, maybe look at a few of the moments. If you would.
Sure, yeah. I mean, but even that game, I thought, like, I actually felt in general my play today was not great. Because this Anish game, he blundered very early on when he went bishop to e6. And I think I was probably quite a bit better for most of the game, but then somewhere near the end I made it really, really messy, unnecessarily, I felt like.
I'm okay. I'm pretty sure, like, in this Berlin system, we've seen this before, but I don't recall seeing c6 knight c7. Is this just one of the branches?
This is traditional. Yeah. I had this against Wesley. Normally they do it the other order with knight f6, not knight c7.
Okay.
But it all transposed into the same endgame. I mean, I had this against Wesley in one of the previous events. I also had this entitled Tuesday where I was black against Eric Hansen. So it's pretty thematic and very dry. Everything is theory up until like rook d1, queen e7, rook d1.
Wow, everything is theory.
Yeah, I mean, I've also had this against Levon before as well. All of this is known. Yeah, and basically I played rook d1. I was hoping, I think here Wesley played bishop f5, if I remember correctly, instead of bishop e6. I think bishop f5 and rook d8 are supposed to be completely fine. But I mean, I think Anish kind of, he thought he knew that it was fine, but he panicked a little bit because it's a touch unpleasant, and he just blundered immediately with bishop e6. And then after this, I mean, it seems like I should be much better. I haven't looked at it, of course, yet, but I should be much better.
And then you
yeah, I mean,
pressured. And
yeah, and somewhere around here, after I got an e6, it should have been a technical win, and then I just found a way to really kind of like mess it up, I would say. Like if you keep going, around here, this should be winning. This should be a technical win. There should be no issues. But I found a way to make this really messy. I think rook e5 is still good. Now, mind you, I'm actually not sure about this end game. If he does it right here. Oh wait, no, sorry. So king g8, rook e1.
Yep.
And then here, if he plays queen d2, I'm really not sure how I'm supposed to be winning this game exactly. Rook c8 I thought was a very bad move because he had no time.
We did notice he just got so low on the clock. It seemed like out of nowhere. I mean, just a gradual.
Well, I mean, I think the thing is, Anish knew that the line is harmless and it should be a draw, and then he started to think, it's like, what's wrong here? Like, how did I mess this up? Because the whole line should be pretty innocuous and should be, I mean, it should be an easy draw for black. But yeah, anyway, so yeah, this I think was one idea. Apparently, computer says it's bad. I don't know why, but yeah, and then around here again, it should be winning. King g2. Yeah, all this is right. Sorry, of course I'm watching the stream, so I'm behind. Yeah,
everything
d4.
looked good up until.
Yeah, right about here. I don't know if h4 was right. Yeah, right around here there should be a win instead of rook e5. Rook e5 is a ridiculous move. I don't know what the win is after queen g6, but there should be a technical.
So rook b7 was something that came up.
Yeah, I saw rook b7, and then I thought I think I'm just bad at chess. I think I saw rook b7 and then I didn't. Why didn't I play rook b7? I literally saw rook b7 here and then I didn't play it.
Something with rook c4 maybe? Or rook c4?
Yeah, but rook c4 and then what? Queen e5? Rook c... I mean, how does it go? Okay, rook b7, rook c4, and then what?
That I'm not sure. Probably as you said, Queen E5. But I guess
then there's Rook C2 again, I thought.
Yes, and then if you go back, you repeat.
But actually, after Rook C2, there's H5. There's H5, Rook F2, King G1, Queen F6, Rook G7, trade it off, and you win the king and pawn endgame. It's very bad. It's very bad. Yeah, just H5 wins, because Queen F6, you just take on G7. Yeah, you... Oh, wait, no, sorry, you can't. There's King G7. Wait, I'm insane. No, maybe it's not so clear. But anyway, I mean, basically, it should be winning. The way I did it, though, leads this endgame that I'm not sure is winning.
Yeah, after... This pin, what did you see Queen F6 and you were just gonna make the transition to the endgame?
No, I didn't realize. I actually thought this endgame was winning on the spot. I didn't realize I missed this Rook D4 move, which is very important because after takes, if you keep going forward, I mean, maybe it's still winning, but I just missed that because if there isn't Rook D4, King F3, King E3 wins, and if the Rook goes to C2, you go to A5. So without Rook D4, it's just a technical win on the spot. And so, like, I missed this move, and I was, of course, pretty upset about it because now it's like you realize it's not going to be easy at all.
Did he blunder King H7? Should he have not gone back to H7?
Yeah, Levy goes King. Well, no, but King H. I mean, what, King F8 maybe?
I don't. Yeah, King F8 for example.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure this is winning. In fact, I suspect it's not winning. In fact, if he doesn't go King H7. I mean,
you're still gonna bring your king though.
How?
Well, I mean,
like, but King no, but how? King F3, Rook D3, Rook B3.
Oh, you're
that's the whole problem. Is that like the Rook always has a check on D3 or D1 when you bring the king close. That's actually the problem. That's why Rook D4 is like such an important move, and I completely missed it. Because without Rook D4, I could have done the same thing, and he doesn't have a way to get the Rook behind without losing his A4 pawn. So I think this was probably a draw if he played this correctly.
And then we looked back, and after King H7, it was just over immediately. Oh, and this was a really nice. Were you excited about Rook A5?
Well, I mean, I saw it when I played Rook A8, so I kind of was hoping that he would take H5. It's a very nice tactic.
If you take A4,
I think this is probably a draw with correct play. I mean, I suspect it's a draw because black has an outside pass pawn. Like, if black had pawns on the F and G files opposite my pawns, I think it would be a draw. But I think black can probably create an outside pass pawn here on the H file.
And that would be enough for counterplay.
Yeah, so I mean, I think that's kind of the point. Yeah, I think that would really make it complicated. So yeah, I mean, I was very happy to see on H play Rook takes H5, but overall, yeah, I mean, wasn't great, but I guess still the standings it's still not that bad.
We noticed something new with the first Lenier game, and also I guess the Grisha game, like the G6 Rui. I mean, the tournament just began, but I don't think we can ask too much about the level of the preparation. But it's a new idea, it's a new concept, or is it?
I think it's been played before, but again, I mean, I would also argue like this kind of ties into everything that I've said before, and one of the reasons I keep my VOD sub only as well is that, you know, I have played this on online on some of my streams, especially against Jospin and a few other players, and I mean that's kind of the drawback when you kind of have to mix up your openings. Sometimes you can play openings, sometimes you can't. And I mean, I think I definitely got away with it in the first game against Lenier, but in general, you know, that's the hardest thing when you're trying to stream and play good chess, and sometimes you can't even really play the same things that you play on stream. So maybe I shouldn't have played it on stream. I should have saved it just for this event. But you know, it's all relative. So that is one of the things that I think is a lot harder. Unlike almost every other streamer who does chess, is that I am trying to compete professionally at the same time.
What was the decision to go for? Like, I think you've played, Chesby had a stat. Your last 13 games against Lenier, you've had black 12 times.
Yes, and this I'm actually very aware of. Yeah, like, somehow, like, I've had streaks against other players where I've gotten, like, a lot of blacks or a lot of whites, but Lenier is the one player who literally every single time that I play him, I'm black. Literally every single time. And I forget when I first started noticing this. I feel like it was maybe back in 2015 or 2016, but I did notice that with the exception of the US Championship, the one that I won in 2019, I think every other game that I can remember, I've been black against him every single time, just always black against Lenier.
It's not very easy when he has
No.
such a solid repertoire and he
And he
goes
only
for
plays
those.
E4?
Yeah, he only plays E4. Yeah, yeah. And I mean, I've gotten lucky sometimes where I've tried to gamble and play random openings, and I've found ways to make draws. But yeah, it's. I think out of all the players in this field, if you're gonna like get black many times in a row, he's probably the player that I think you least want to black against. If you're playing, but you know, it's what it is.
Oh man, I don't know if you kept an eye on any of the other games. Carlson lost in the first round to Wesley.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't look super closely at what was going on. You know, again, it's a long tournament. Like, so like the score itself is fine. I'm not really that unhappy with the score. It's just the way that the score occurred that's pretty disappointing. But yeah, I mean, Magnus played badly in the first game. And then he did well in some of the other games. But yeah, it's pretty balanced filled, I would say.
After these 5 rounds, so 2 more days to go, 10 more games. Do you think, I know you didn't have much time to see the rest of the field, but now when you look at the standings, do you think that after this first day, the first 5 rounds, are there any players that are now standing out as the vulnerable spots, the players that against the most people will try to score?
Yeah, you know, I mean, there's certain players like Blue Bomb specifically, I think, or maybe Veeded as well, depending on the situation. But actually, to me, when I look at the standings, the biggest surprise is to see Dingler on 1.5. That actually, to me, is very surprising.
Yeah.
When I look at the field, like everyone's had their ups and downs. Duda had some good games, he had some bad games. Dubov also all over the place. But yeah, I think when I look at the field, it doesn't look that surprising. I would just say Ding on 1.5 is very strange. That just looks very weird. But again, there are 10 more games, so it's not the end of the world for anyone.
No, it's not. As always, the tradition continues where we have no idea who you're playing tomorrow. I'm sure you.
We don't want to tell you.
Do you know who you're playing to, or you just?
No, I don't actually. I'll take a look later today. I mean, the pairings are sent out before the event. But yeah, I literally have not taken any look. You just take it one game at a time, and yeah, I mean, it's not bad. Like I said, if you could have told me that I was going to draw 5 games and I had these 3 blacks against Lenier, Sasha, and Nepo, I would have been like, okay, you know, it's not the end of the world. It's just the way that the order happened with the win and then the loss that really is annoying. But again. I think the fact that I was able to salvage the first game was really important. Because if I had lost that game, it could have been a really bad day. So yeah, it's what it is.
Yeah, I think if we crunch the numbers, Ding has just finished his round at 5 a.m. too, which is
yeah. I mean, that's of course the one drawback with online events. I think is that it's some people can end up playing at really odd hours. But again, I would say, you know, for example, in the last event, I think, you know, obviously I got outplayed in the quarterfinals, I think it was by Levon Aronian, but every day having to wake up at 6 a.m. was a real struggle. So I think many players, I mean, the players who aren't in Europe, let's put it that way, have definitely had to adjust their schedules accordingly, and it's been rough. And I do wonder if that hasn't affected Ding on some level.
Well, I hope that he'll do better in the next days or upcoming events of the Champions Tour if he can adjust to this schedule. What we wanted to tell you, Hikaru, about your channel and your records, because today your channel has broken yet another record. Yeah. Levy, over to you.
Okay. I was gonna let you take it away. Yeah, we set a record viewership on GMHikaru. I think we had like over 51K, 51.
Oh, nice.
51 and change, and for a short while we were kind of premier slot on Twitch.tv. I think it was good. It was good. It's good energy. It's this format, man. It's, you know, 16 players. 3 days to figure out who's going to make the playoffs. So
yeah, you know, it's funny. I think if I look at it from the standpoint of playing these events, I really hate it. Frankly, I'd rather it's just like you play like 8-player just knockout, just like get it over with, rather than have to do this whole like qualification system. Because it's very stressful. But what I would say is for the fans, certainly it's very good that there are these games being played. So it's like it's a mixed bag. On one hand, it's great. It's great for the people who watch. If I put myself in the shoes as a player, I absolutely hate it. So there's good and bad.
Well, I think it's fun also Tata Steel style when there's a lot of young guys. Like it would be, you know, it'd be cool if
I mean, I don't think it's a matter of young guys, frankly. I think the fact is in rapid chess, players don't, sort of the preparation becomes, there's a lot less preparation. It's much more about pure play, I would say. And that's the reason you have it. It's not solely because of the style of the players and there being young players. It's the fact that when it's rapid or blitz, players don't have 20 minutes to think, and there are going to be mistakes made by the players. And to me, I mean, if you look at it from the standpoint of thinking that, the best preparation or sort of like the most calculation should win, I can understand the arguments for classical chess being better. But I think for the vast majority of fans who are not elite chess players themselves, watching games where you have decisive results and you have all sorts of things happening is really good. It makes the players more human, and I think that's why people watch.
We certainly love to see those moments, even if, as you said, if it's at the maybe the heart rate and the health and well-being of the players in a little bit, and those stressful, tense moments kick in. But thank you so much for all that you do for chess in general, and we sure hope to see that number hitting 1 million soon on your channel, because it's so close. It's so close.
I mean, at some point it'll happen. I'm not really thinking about it right now, obviously. I think it's incredible to see the amount of people who are watching chess every day. I think it was maybe like last night. I think I saw LCS was on, which of course is League of Legends. And I think they had something like 70 or 80,000 on the LCS channel, and that's only like 30,000 more than we had today watching chess. So I think it speaks volumes about the interest in chess as a whole and all the people who love this great game. So big shout out to all the fans for all their support, and of course for enjoying the great chess. And some of the bad chess too.
Oh, I mean, today's first round was some tumultuous stuff, man. That was really wild. I think also today, before the last round, there was like 90% win rate with white, something completely astronomical.
Wow.
And then a few people, yeah, but it's like 75, I think now, with a few more wins.
I mean, I think you're gonna have crazy games all over the place in rapid chess, and I think again, like. It's going to be distributed more or less evenly as we go.
Well, per our kind of scheduled programming, Anna will continue. We will send both channels over to her. I'll have to reboot in about an hour. I'll be doing a lesson with PogChamps participant Michelle Kare. Anna will handle the after party. Hikaru, best of luck. Get some rest. You still have like the entire day basically, which is still completely nuts.
I was gonna add, that's one other thing that's very weird is like it's strange because the amount of time that we play in these events is like theoretically, or not theoretically, it just is mathematically on par with like a stream, but the actual amount of playing time seems like it's significantly less, because you can also have a game where it's like, it's like 5 moves or 5 minutes. You could also have a game that takes like 1 hour. So it's kind of like, it's weird because it's not actually 5 hours of game time. It's more like probably 3.5 maybe. So it's very weird, because I feel like I don't actually feel tired, and it's only like 1 o'clock. So it's a very weird feeling when these events end for the day.
I know it's 1:16, so you can have lunch, and then I don't know, get a
stream.
Hey man, you've got.
Are you going to be back later?
No, I'm not going to. No, but anyway, yeah. All right,
well, guys. As always, pleasure. It was very fun, and we'll be back tomorrow with 5 more rounds of the coverage. 5 hours, 5+ hours, and we'll see you then. So,
all right, see you guys. Bye.
Bye.
See you soon. Bye.
Bye, guys.